It's podcast time, people. Welcome to the Tommy Sandhu podcast, and this one with the hilarious, very funny, a really good friend of mine as well, actually. And I don't have many industry friends, but I count industry friends as someone who you'd call up just because you think of them. And this is definitely someone who I do that with. We trade voice notes all the time, and we have a right laugh. I crack up. It is, of course, Sukh Ojla. I'm sure you've read that in the description. Sukh is just brilliant. She's just a force, and she's great, and she's just doing her thing. And what I like about Sukh is she's doing so well, but is quite realistic in her kind of lack of belief in herself, and has the same fears and worries that we all have about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and trying to balance the oddness of our lives and world. So she's amazing. I adore her. I had to get her on the brand new podcast, seeing as we're in our early stages. Here is the awesome Sukh Ojla. Oh, Sukhi!
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Thanks for doing this. Thank you.
That's all right. I just realised I told my mum that it was a meeting, right? Because she's not going to understand what a podcast is. And then we're going to be chatting and she's going to be like, what kind of meeting is this?
No. What will she actually say? Yeah. Technically, it is still a meeting. It's us coming together. Oh, by the way, why are you looking so tanned? Like you've been away.
No, this is the filter. Or there must be some sort of inbuilt filter on this. I don't look this tan normally. I've not been away since 2019, like most other people.
Okay, so you've just been at home, but you look like I thought, oh, she's been writing, like, oh yeah, I got a place in Costa del Sol, ain't I, babes? Got a place down there. I go down there to write my book. Are you done on all that? Are you done on all that, by the way? Is that
all done? Handed it in a couple of weeks ago. But get this, Tom. You know how we joke about our parents' immigrant work ethic?
Yep.
Handed it in. I mean, this was an accidental thing, but I handed it in. Totally forgot that about 3 months before that, I'd panicked and gone, what am I going to do after my book is handed in? Why don't I take a writing course so I can keep my writing skills sharp? And it just so happened that I handed in my book at 4, went to bed, had a stress nap, because obviously the euphoria of handing in a piece of work only lasts about 40 to 50 seconds for me.
Right.
And then it's the fear, right? Then it's like, oh, this is going out in the world. Other people are going to read it. What's my book going to say? And then I fell asleep, woke up to a notification saying your writing course starts in 15 minutes.
So when you woke up, so you'd had your nap though, right? You'd had the sleep.
I'd had my nap, but it's the fact that I just sent off 95,000 words of my book, and now I'm going to do 2 hours of writing.
Yeah, and half asleep, but do you go to that writing course and kind of like pump, like, yeah, okay, because that's almost like a little sign. That's like, oh, look at that, book got handed in, lesson starts, that straight after a little sleep.
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually really love it. I really, really enjoy it. It's so, and I know I'm doing everything back to front because I've written the book first and then I'm taking the writing course. But literally, right?
Yeah. All the wrong way around.
Yeah. But I think life is all about learning, right? I don't think I don't think you should ever get to a place where you go, I know everything about X.
Yeah, so you're like the joyrider of writing, where like you've stolen a car, jacked it, driven it around, and now you're taking lessons. It's like,
now I got my provisional.
So you wrote a book, got it signed, big publishers, all that deal and all that, right? Proper deal. This by the way, Sukh Ojla isn't writing for just hoping that one day it might get. But no, bam, the deal was done up front, right? They handed you the keys to the car and said, go on, do some wheelies, do some donuts. You did all that and then went, all right, I'll tell you what, I better go learn it. This is all right, this. But you can go one or two ways after you do the writing thing, because you can go, yeah, this is for me, or nah.
Yeah. I'll be honest, Tom, when I was writing it, I was like, this is horrible. Why would anyone want to do this? This is the worst thing in the world. To the point where I was talking to my friend Jane and she just put her phone in front of me. She said, I'm just going to record you saying that, and there's a voice note on her phone that she's kept with me going, hello future Sukh, it's April the 22nd 2021. You've just handed in a draft of your book, you've absolutely hated it, you've worked 13-hour days, you really don't like this, you're never writing another book. I saw her a couple of weeks ago. She said, did you think you were writing another book? I went, yeah, I love it. And she just went, listen to this.
Who's this girl? You're like, I don't know, but someone's doing a really good impression of Sukh Ojla, I tell you what. But really, already thinking about because obviously, let's just tell everyone properly for the record, the book is called Sunny. It is available on pre-order right now. But you haven't said too much about it, and I don't need to go. We don't need to go into what the story. Do you save all that? Are you told like a film script, like the James Bond movie? Is it like keep all that, don't tell anyone?
No, not at all. Because when you go online, you can kind of read the blurb. You can read like a description of it, so I can tell you what's on the description.
Do you know?
Or you can just go read it for yourself.
You know Gulshan Grover?
Yeah,
the actor. I'm a bad man. He was supposed to be in one of the James Bonds, but he blew it because he started telling people, and the word got out, and they went, "We're dropping you, mate." And he's told that story himself. So
isn't that the most dissy thing you've heard?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but Gulshan Grover, you could have been in James Bond, but you couldn't keep your blooming booty shut, could you? Yeah. You had to go around. So I've just wondered whether they were like, look, this is the book, and the power of the book lies in not telling people too much and all that. I don't know. Like, do they tell? Because authors are always very cryptic.
Yeah, I think also they're used to authors who kind of go away and they have like a whole writing process and they're very precious about it, or they're not used to someone who talks for a living to write a book. So when they're like, do you want to talk about the book on this at this event? I'm like, yeah, all right. And they're like, oh, we don't have to twist your arm. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm a professional show off. Like I didn't get enough attention in my childhood. Like, yeah, I would talk about myself.
We got a whole backlog of attention. What you want me to talk and people are going to listen? And no one's going to be laughing at me or taking the mick or taking a piss out of me. No, great. Then I'll do that. But then there's just to get the business out of the way. There's the Life Sucks tour that's going on. So hold on, book's done. So now is it just the tour now?
No, there is something else, but I can't talk about it publicly.
Wicked? No, I don't. And I'm all right with that because this is a podcast. This ain't like, let's get to the journalistic breaking news from Sukh Ojla. I'm like, look, when it comes out, it will come out, whatever it is. But you're grinning, which tells me you're quite excited by this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, good. And I'm only because I love you and I'm just a fan. Is it acting? Is it writing? Is it something completely different?
It's acting and writing.
Oh, brilliant. That's brilliant. Look at the grin. Some people kind of, and this is the thing with Punjabi people, I think it's Desi people in general. We can't hide emotions. There's no game playing with us.
Yeah.
Our friendship is based on us going and just shouting things at each other. And so this is what I want.
The best example of that was, I think we hadn't seen each other in at least 6 months. It must have been longer. And we did that show, the outdoors show.
Yeah, in Watford.
And we literally, and this is what I love about our friendship, because there's very few people I can do this with. You turn up, there's no small talk. There's like, this is what is going on with me. And you go, and this is what's going on with me. And we go, okay, Changa, bye.
It's like, and I don't even want to get into whatever the details of the conversation are, but it's just straight in. But I'm with you. There are only a handful of people in your life. Yeah. I've got maybe one mate from uni, one mate cousin. That's probably it. And just that you can just pick up. But you're like that. I don't think you want to do small talk. You don't want to go. Yeah, you want to go straight in with like, I don't know.
If I'm doing small talk with you, it means I don't like you.
Oh,
if I'm doing the whole
that's not
I don't like you. I got nothing to say to you.
Yeah. Where are you at right now? Okay, then come on, friend, buddy. Where's your head at? How are you? You okay? I mean, everyone's a bit all over the place. Everyone's a bit,
Do you know what? I'm good. I think I'm a bit like the tour is quite intense in a really good way, and I'm really enjoying it. But I think what I didn't realize is because I go, you're only doing 2 or 3 tour shows a week. What are you going to do for the rest of the time? But what I don't understand.
Go on. Yeah.
It's the Punjabi uncle in me. The Punjabi uncle in me is strong.
Yeah. And so for the other days, what have you taken on?
So this new writing project, I'm doing other gigs as well, a big corporate project. which I'm also writing for. Yeah.
But then,
And then obviously auditioning as well. Obviously auditioning and like, you know, and other meetings and things, and lovely podcasts like this, which is not even work. Like it's just
no, but isn't it weird, Sukh? It's all happened quite sort of rapidly in the last couple of years. I know, probably.
Definitely.
What would you say for you? 4 years?
Yeah,
4?
yeah.
I'd say 4 years. It went from, and I'm just thinking back to, you know, it went from Sukh, stand-up comedian, funny, doing your thing on the scene, to the clips went viral. In shows, on mainstream telly, Mock the Weeks, book deal, solo tour is always a sign that someone's kind of got more to say than just stand up. You know, it's not like I'm going to go do some jokes. It's like, no, there's more here. So like, this is it now, Sukh. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you feel, because I don't know, but what I mean is sometimes I feel like, what am I going to do when I grow up? But I'm like, and I know you're the same. So like, so like, this is it. You're grown up. It's happening.
Don't say that. That's terrifying. I feel like I'm not grown. I'm not grown because do you know why? I don't feel grown up because can't drive. I feel like until I learn how to drive, I'm not a grown up.
So how do you get about? What are you like, Uber Queen all the time? You just like?
No, I mean, to be honest, I live in a city now, so I've moved to Birmingham, so it's really easy to get around. For my solo show, we've got our mutual friend Altaf Sawa,
from Destiny Central.
From Destiny Central, who's my promoter for this tour. Who takes me around, and then what I'm kind of hoping is, Tom, that is at some point I'll get mega famous, and then I'll just have a driver in it.
Yeah. Then you don't need to learn how to drive.
No, but I think I should at some point. Just because you're supposed to. But do you know what? I've got no concentration. I've got a terrible, awful. I don't know how I wrote a book. I don't know how I managed it. I wrote it. Sometimes I had to write in the ad breaks of Married at First Sight. 3 minutes bursts.
So when the book suddenly starts talking about, I don't know, marriages or weddings, or goes into a little 2-line tangent, you're like, what was that about? Like, she was watching Married at First Sight then, and it kind of went in. It could have been if you're watching Naked Attraction, then all of a sudden you're talking about, you know, other bits and bots and whatever. So how's Birmingham life? Come on, that's very different. So you're originally Gravesend. You are a Gravesend girl.
Yeah.
And now Birmingham girl.
And now Birmingham. Yeah, do you know what? Because before this, I was living on the Kent coast. I was living in Margate, which I loved because obviously I love the sea. I love being by the sea, but I could not deal with being the only brown face.
Yeah, but you did that classic writer's thing. You went and got a place by the seaside. I mean, it's almost cliche. It's like a place by the seaside where I write, you know, and it's like, and I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I've like got it was an Airbnb or like a temporary booking or whatever it was.
A short let,
short let. And you're like, I'm living in Margate by the beach and I'm doing my writing. I'm like, and it was such a cute cottagey kind of place as well. It looked right, and I'm like, this is there's almost like that's like a character in a story. And then off she went to the seaside, this Punjabi kuri.
The thing is, right, because I read books like that and I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so nice. I'm so romantic. I was like, I'm going to move to Margate. I'm just going to have like these lovely windswept walks. You know, I'm going to meet some like really hot fishermen. And then like, you know, we're going to shack up and it's just going to be like a real romance on the beach. No one tells you it's bloody freezing on the coast. There's no bloody Indian people. There's no cash and carry. I had to buy my bloody spices at Tesco. Like, I was furious.
Yeah, where you get that little gucci of dhania for like £1.20. You're like,
or little like 2 little curry leaves in a little glass pot for £2.50. No, thank you.
Yeah, your mum would hit the roof if she found out. So you at Margate, Birmingham, but now where are you right now? You're at mum and dad's.
Right now I'm at mum and dad's because I've got a couple of shows down south. So I'm here. I see them. I do all the admin. I look through all the posts. I listen to who's died. Because someone's always died, isn't it?
Sorry, who's admin? Your admin or mum and dad's admin?
Mum and dad's admin.
What's the current issue in mum and dad's admin world? What have you got? What are you sorting out?
Is there an issue? Oh yeah, my mum wants me to chase up. She wants to get one of those walkers. You know those little walkers, those little roller walker things, right?
The frame thing, like the
frame, the one you can sit on.
Oh, what? No, I'm thinking like a Zimmer frame thing. What's a walker that you sit
Yeah,
on?
almost. Yeah, so it's like a Zimmer frame, but it's got the wheels.
Oh, okay. And you
So
you sit on it.
basically all her mates at the Godfather have got one, right?
Have they really? They come bowling up. Like they
They come
customized it. They customized it with the
bowling
little
up.
spinning. Yeah,
I
right.
call them the Crips. So they come like so they're bowling up in their colours, in their gang colours. So they're like, yeah. So now she wants one, right? So it's on order. So now the whole thing is, I don't know if it's Brexit or like what the deal is. But now she's like, you need to chase them up. I'm like, there's a shortage of roll. I don't know what's happened. Maybe because we've got a rapidly aging population, or maybe because all your mates have bought them. I don't know. But
Yeah. Or like no one's got like petrol at the moment because there's a petrol
yeah,
crisis, and they're kind of going, you know what we need? We need one of them little mobile scooters that we see the aunties at the Godfather got or whatever it is. So she wants to kick around thing. And look, so right now, I just love this. Right now, your mum's not part of the gang, right? Because her double the
yeah,
ladies, they all got one. She's the
yeah,
lead, and she's going, Sukh, hook me up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So now when she comes home from the Godfather, she came home from the Godfather, she called me. She was like, ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਫਲਾਨੀ ਕੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋ 3 ਵੀਲ ਵਾਲਾ ਆ, ਮੇਰਾ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਹੁਣ 3 ਵੀਲ ਵਾਲਾ? I'm like, oh my god. She like,
Yeah,
it's like she's buying a car. She's like,
yeah,
what color is it gonna be? She's so excited about it. So
yeah.
basically, we're all on tenterhooks waiting for the delivery of this walker.
And does your old man not want one?
No, he's fine. He's great. He's really active. I mean, to be fair, she does need one as well to make her more mobile. But like, yeah, he's fine. He goes on walks. He took himself shopping the other day. Came back. He was showing me, like how YouTubers and TikTok stars do like shopping hauls and stuff. He did the whole shopping haul for me the other day, but it was from M&S. And he
Oh,
just bought 3 bandana exactly the same. He was like, "This
identical.
will see me through winter." He was like,
Very good. See,
"It's
that
so cute."
that's a different level of planning because we're at an age and phase of our life where we're thinking 5-year goals, 10-year
Yeah,
goals, this, that, and the other. He's going, January tak theek hai." Baad vich assi pata lag- It's like that. And actually, if he saves one, keeps it a bit crisp, might get to Valentine's Day, might give
yeah,
Mrs.
exactly,
Ojla the,
exactly.
dress up treatment.
And do you know what's hilarious to me, Tom, is now people are like saying to me, "Oh, you got to keep you grounded now because you're getting all these opportunities. Got to keep you grounded." I was like, "Listen, I've got working class Punjabi immigrant parents. I'm grounded."
I'm online looking at the specifications and dimensions of walker frames with wheels and 2-wheel versus 3-wheel options. Trust me, I'm not losing myself. I'm not Tom Cruise just yet. Kind of like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I'd like all of this floor of the hotel customized for me, please.
yeah. I still know how much a pint of milk is. Do you know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what's nice is now I just think, and I've always said this: we need well, firstly we need like at least 10 more Sukhs in the scene, right? So we need more the next versions of you to come through. So and I'm
yeah,
not just saying because you're an Asian girl, you'll only inspire younger Asian girls. I think you can inspire anyone, with what you've got to say, and that's amazing. So whoever that Sukh is, whether she's brown, black, white, or anything else, she needs to come on through, and boys can come through. But it's because it's all happening now. Your world, it has really changed. You are talking to different people. The agents, the channels, the interest.
yeah.
But are you happy? Are you enjoying all that, or is it like shit? I know I wanted all of this, but sometimes we don't know what we want, and we're chasing it all the time. And we work.
No,
I'm working really hard for it. 13 hours of writing a day.
yeah,
Anyone will tell you that's a lot. That's grueling, and concentration is tiring.
yeah.
Where are you at with all that? You want all this? Is it nice?
Do you know what? I realized the other day I'm the happiest I've ever been, and that's nothing to do with what's going on. And the older I get, the more I realize my happiness doesn't depend on the external. Because I've had times where I've gone up for amazing auditions or had amazing meetings, but inside I just don't feel it. Inside I don't feel good enough or whatever. And I've now finally got to the point where, we've had these conversations in privately in the past where I've worked so hard on myself. I've done the therapy. I've done I've kind of really worked on my mental health as well and my spiritual and emotional well-being as well. And I've kind of really gone, right, you need to look at, like, for example, I'm terrible at the whole work-life balance. I'm awful, it's not a work-life balance, it's a work-work balance. Like, there is no work. And
You can't say no.
now I'm finally going, okay, have a social life. Okay, have you seen your friends? Have you connected with other people? maybe date a little bit. You know, I'm kind of pushing myself to do that, because it's really easy, Tom, especially when you're freelance, as you know, and in this industry, it's really easy to go, no, I don't have time. No, I've got this deadline. No, I should do that. And now I've just gone, actually, no, that doesn't serve you, because there's never going to be a good time to do that, because there's always going to be something else to do. There's always going to be something else to focus on. And I found that the reason I was, fairly unhappy a few months ago was because I was just not in balance. You know, I was just work, and then no time to enjoy it, and no one to enjoy it with.
Yeah. And we see, okay, people will say that. People are going to go, okay, so much to say. You're aware, you're tuned in to your mental health, awareness, well-being.
Yeah.
I'm going to be slight devil's advocate here, and I don't really know the answer to this. Is it good to be aware of all your issues, or is it better, like our parents, like the previous, kind of go, "Chalo koi nahi, just carry on." And because sometimes by acknowledging it, you put an ism or a term to it. Then you put a term to it, and you think, right, that's me. I've got that, and then you become a reflection of that. Do you know what I mean? I am Tommy, who has an issue with da 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 da. You know, I don't know what's better. You're great like that. You're open to it. I think you're open to feelings, emotions, life experiences. But sometimes, is that the bad side?
Yeah, I think sometimes it can get overwhelming, because sometimes I'm like, you know what? I would love to be the kind of person who got married at 23 to someone she didn't really know, but her parents were like, marry him, and then, you know, have a little job in Asda, and, you know, go to B&Q at the weekends, have 3 kids, you know, 1 holiday a year, you know, you got 2 cars, double garage, you know, I'm really happy with that. You know, there are people who are genuinely like, this is all I want in life, and they're really happy with it. And I think I do, you know, not to kind of categorize people, but I'm about to do this. I do think there are people who are like, life is like fixed, you know, like the fixed mindset, and then the growth mindset. And I'm very much like, you know, I grew up in a house, as you know, where my path should have been married by the age of 25, you know, uni, marriage by the age of 25. By now, by 37, I should have had all my kids, you know, they should all be in school. And, you know, and that's it, really, just kind of waiting for them to grow up so I can marry them off and then have grandbabies and retire and stuff. However, I never wanted that for me. I just always knew there was something more, but that just never appealed to me.
Okay, see, and I'm not I'm not putting you in it here when I say this, but the way you go, there's something more. It's like, oh, that's kind of like something bad then, you know, like, oh, that's selling yourself short if you just got married at 25.
No, not at all, because if that's what you genuinely want, absolutely go for it. I've got friends who are like, all I want to do is have kids, all I want to do is get married, have kids. So genuinely, that's all they want. They feel like that is their calling in life. But I know far more people who are living that life who are going, is this it?
Yeah.
Like, is this it for the rest of my life? Like, I'm halfway through my life. I'm not sure I want to do this. And I think for me, the most important thing is to kind of, my kind of philosophy is to just kind of live with a kind of like compassionate curiosity about yourself and the world.
Yeah.
And I think that way we can kind of be a bit more childlike, you know, and it'd be a bit more, you know, like how kids, like when kids play, or like when kids do like make believe or imaginary stuff, and like as adults we go, how are you what can you see that I'm not seeing? And we all had that at some point. And I think just, you know, we get older and obviously things move in the way, and obviously, you know, can't be like, no mum, I'm not going to Buckshaw's daughter's wedding because I'm just going to get in touch with my inner child. Like, I'm just looking at the
तेरे को बच्चा है Sukh तेरे को बच्चा है और मैंने दसिया नहीं, she's upstairs in her room with her inner child, like confusion all around. Can't we have both? Why couldn't Sukh or right now, today, tomorrow, meet someone, get married, still do the career, still have that time? What's wrong that makes you feel like maybe you can't? Because I tell you where I'm going with it. I think it's Asian men. I'm going to say it so you don't have to. So I think it's desi blokes who don't know how to facilitate and support someone else's career. Not all of them. There's some lovely boys out there. I'm not saying. I've grown up in a house with 2 sisters, right? So and my mum, 2 sisters, my dad's at work. So it's a very girly house. I won't say I'm a girly guy, but I feel much more comfortable talking to women than I do with men.
You're very empathetic. You know, you can see other people's point of view though. And I think that's seen as a very traditionally feminine trait.
Right. And exactly, for my wife, and I can see in her face, you know my wife well. And like, you know, you see Binny and she's like, I can tell she's down, she's this, she needs space, she needs time out, she needs to work out, she needs to whatever. But we'll try. I mean, I'm not always there because I'm rubbish and I'm useless, and I'm trying to be a
human.
star. I'm trying to be a star as well, Sukh. So
you are a star.
So with all that, I mean, saying, you know, you need someone to tune into it. So I'm saying in the same way, is that why it hasn't happened? Is that why? So you need someone who's going to get you and who helps you get you.
Absolutely. And look, you know, I think that, you know, it's such a big question, isn't it? Why hasn't it happened? It's something that, you know, I ask myself.
And actually, that was a crap question. That wasn't even my question. The question wasn't is that why you haven't got married? It's more about why you can't have both, because it feels like it's either one or the other.
It does, but I think that's what society tells us, you know, that they can't, and I think that kind of thinking is used to keep us in our boxes, you know, because you got to remember, we come from tribes, right? And if you don't do what the rest of the tribe wants, you die. Like back in the day. Do you know what I mean? And you know, even nowadays, quite literally. So when you know, we come from a tribal community like ours, and you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, or you're not following the path, there is a bit of like, what's she doing? Does she? What? That's weird. Why would you do that? I don't understand that. I'm a bit scared of that. Like, you know, because we're scared of things that we don't know. But I think for me, I just think you can have it. You can have both of those things. You know, why can't you? You know, and I think women, it's like, oh, you're either super maternal and you're super loving and you're this, or you're like hard-nosed career woman. And I'm somewhere in between, you know, and I'm somewhere in between. And I also know that as I've got older, and definitely as I'm kind of progressing in my career, it has made it more difficult to meet people, not because of time or whatever, but I mean, that is a factor. But I think more because I find quite a lot of men that I meet are a bit intimidated, or I think they have an idea that I expect the world or something or whatever, or maybe they're like, well, she doesn't need me. Why would she go out with me when she can kind of do everything for herself? But a lot of that has been me. That's been like, all right, so what are you bringing to the table? Because I am the table. So what are you bringing?
Yeah. Where's your tablecloth? I need a candle. A nice salt and pepper holder. Do you know what I mean? One of them ones. So do something. But you're right. And I'm trying to think about it, because obviously I know Asian blokes, and I know there's an issue. I know you don't, they don't, we don't want the women too loud, the women too confident, the women too successful. And I hope it's not as simple as, oh, well, she's cooler than I am, or she's strong, or there's more eyes on her than there is on me. Maybe it's as simple as that we just need to be alpha. And when we're not alpha, because you've got a working, because I think in general things are shifting, right? In order to make a house work before, woman stayed at home, man went to work, right? Or, you know, man goes out the cave, woman, you know, prepares cave, all that. Now it's blurred. And I'm like, I love it, because I'm like, great, work, earn. Can you help pay the mortgage? Because that takes some stress off me. I know for a fact most men commit suicide because of money pressures. Finance is the biggest thing. So I'm like, another salary coming in, I welcome it. And plus, I'm raised around women that are working and earning and doing their thing. Plus, all the women in my family, they're the alpha males. You know, like, like, I don't know a bunda that would have the guts. My brother-in-law, Bichade, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, married to my two sisters, they are whipped. I'm sorry, boys. I'm sorry, guys. You haven't got a leg to stand on, and they will have the final say. That's the way they are. So I don't know, you know, weak women, and that's why I'm like, oh, you know, that's the way they are. But I think we're still turning a corner on this, aren't we? Absolutely. A long corner on it.
Absolutely. And I think also, you know, as people in general, we all have masculine and feminine inside us, right? You know, we have a masculine side, we have a feminine side. I know that I am very masculine. Like, I have those kind of traits, you know, driven, moving forward, taking charge of the, you know, slapping my thighs at any given opportunity.
Love it. Yeah, I knew that's good. I was gonna go, last big Dakar after you eat. Oh, hajam ho gaya. Huh? There you go.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah. Absolutely. When I sneeze, people hear it three doors down. Like,
the whole house shakes. The street's like, oh, Sukina Shekmari. Oh, Suki bless you. Through the doors. That's brilliant. Yeah. So, and that, then I don't know. I'm almost thinking like as a matching, because my wife she's alpha. She's very, you know,
she's a strong character.
I'm a little bit scared of her, because, you know, she will she shuts, she tucks her teeth, she rolls her eyes, she's she's disappointed most of the time. But you need someone who's gonna move with you. And what's so weird about you, Sukh, is also I feel like I've known you forever. I feel like family, and I'm not just. I swear, you know me. I'm not just saying that. If you can read my, it's not a lie. But your style of humor, your style of joking. So when I'm talking about it, I'm like, it's like I'm talking to myself and family at the same time. So that's why I'm kind of rambling on about this. But
I love it.
I suppose what I'm getting is now it's going to be, because it's hard to meet someone, but that's going to be even harder because you're getting busier. You're going to go on a big publicity thing with the book as all that, and
there'll be a book signing tour thing. Yeah. There's, but and also the other thing is now I don't. I'm back on the dating apps, Tommy. Breaking news. I'm back on the dating apps, and I'm having a few guys who are like, "You look really familiar. You do. I've seen you somewhere before. I don't know why I feel like I've seen you somewhere before." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want, because my life is so career heavy. Do you know what I mean? It's so like weighted in that area that I just want someone to know me for me, because otherwise, and I don't put it on my profile that I'm a writer, actress, comedian. I don't, because you attract the kind of person, in my experience, the kind of person who's like, "All right, tell me your joke then. You're funny, you funny, yeah, you funny, yeah. Go on. Yeah. My friend said I'm pretty funny, so."
It's that just makes you kind of go, I'm all right single.
Yeah, I'm okay. Because in no other job, there's absolutely no, like if I met a doctor, I wouldn't go up to them and be like, heart surgeon, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. You know
I've got
what?
a pretty steady hand. I could do that.
Yeah, I put a plaster on myself the other day. Took it off, didn't even cry.
Yeah.
Standard, isn't it? It's true. It's that, and I would say when I was DJing as well, people used to come up and go, I DJ as well. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night. Why aren't you working? Because every other DJ is, what are you doing here? It's madness. But you're right. So it's about attracting the right people. But I just think I think as well as always with these things, screw it. And when you chase it, and when you chase anything, I just think it doesn't work.
Yeah. So, and as much as I hate it, I feel like now there's more chance of that happening because I'm happier within myself.
Yeah.
I'm more accepting, more happier within myself, and I'm more grounded, and I'm a bit more settled, even though I am, as you know, traveling all over the place. I do feel more grounded within myself and settled. So I think now there's probably a high chance that it will happen. So I'm kind of, for the first time in my life, I'm not stressed about it.
Yeah. And in it nice. Gigs are back, you're out touring,
I love it. It's so nice. I make a point to do meet audiences after my shows as well, and that's so lovely. And you just kind of think, man, we've all had such a rough 18 months in one way or another, and it's so lovely to get. I mean, this is this will probably only last 6 months, and then what entertainers are like or performers are like. Then they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, I did that gig. It was rubbish. Oh, it was really badly organised. They didn't pay me on time." But I'm enjoying the kind of honeymoon phase of this, when we're just really happy to be out again.
So has Life Sucks changed, by the way, as a tour? Because Life Sucks is the name of your tour, but it was about you and where you were getting up to that point in your life. But obviously with lockdown, I'm like, oh, you got a whole more of things that suck about life potentially, and to add to it, and to mold it. So it's a new Life Sucks, right? It's like version 2.
It's an updated version of it, because I feel like, because so much of my comedy is real life, and I think people think, oh, that's a really funny joke, oh, is that true? And I'm like, no, it's all true. Like, I promise you, it's all true. And my life is that weird and wild and interesting, thankfully. And my mum is like that, which is brilliant. Hours of material. But so I felt like I wasn't being genuine if I just went on and did the same show. And obviously I could have gone on and done the same show. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. Audiences enjoyed it. You saw it. You liked it. So I have updated it, because also I think there's a really important, because I talk about mental health in there. Like, if there's anything about lockdown that people have, pretty much everyone's realized, is that, oh, mental health isn't just something that happens to other people. It's something that, can affect us all in various ways and stuff. Even though I was at home going, you're depressed now? Yeah, mate. I've got my 15-year service badge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got loyalty points with depression.
I got the gold watch. I'm like,
club
lifetime service.
Yeah, man.
Or you're sad, are you? Or you're anxious, are you? Oh, welcome to the club.
It's like a series, like Breaking Bad. You watching that now? I watched it. I had that 10 years ago. I've seen that one. I've done Anxious. I've done it. It's all over.
Yeah.
But you know, so I know you've got a busy day. Where are you heading now, by the way? Where are you got to go? What's happening?
I'm going to Soho Theatre. I've got a meeting at Soho Theatre with another writer. So,
do you meet only in theatre places? Or do you sit on the stage and talk, like, why? You can meet anywhere. You can meet in a coffee shop. Why have you got to meet at the theatre?
We could. I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Okay.
Listen, I worked hard where I can be like, I'm going to the Soho Theatre to like have a meet. I used to walk past that place, hands up at the window, and be like, look at all those people with their MacBooks. Other laptops are available, but like, you just like walk up and be like, I want to be one of those guys. Like, I want to be like in there having a meeting, and now I legitimately have a meeting.
And there you have. So I know you got to go to a meeting, but listen, it's so nice to hear the bounce in your step and the fun that you're having and good things coming. It's wicked. Like, I'm a fan, and I just think you're great. Just we need 100 more of you guys. Just Sukh Ojla's out there. So keep smiling.
Not quite yet, because I need to buy my house first. So if you could just wait for like another year or so, and then
don't be treading on my toes, because we will make sure you don't work in this industry again. All right. So wait.
I know people in it. I know people.
Would you buy a house in Birmingham now? Are you converted to the Midlands ways yet or not? You still thinking London, Gravesend?
No, I'm glad I'm there. I'm really liking the fact that I don't have to buy my spices in Tesco anymore, and I like not being the only brown face. But
you're definitely not the only brown face in Birmingham.
Definitely not the only brown face in Birmingham, and I really enjoy that. Because it had got to the point where I felt like I had to, in Margate, I had to fit in, right? And it's Thanet, right? And Thanet is known for being, BNP, EDL, like strongholds in the past. So I felt like I couldn't be myself. I couldn't talk to myself. So I used to go into the supermarket, well, obviously, back when masks were mandatory, and I had to put on a voice. I had to basically pretend I was like, like your Gora mate's like Uncle Dean or something like that. I had to like do this. I had to code switch, so I had to like in order to fit in. You know what I mean? So I had to like go in and be like, "You're right, darling. Yeah. No, I'll just pay. No, I'll just pay card. Yeah. No, I only came in for a pint of milk, and now look, I've got an angle grinder. I've got a drain unblocker. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the missus wanted prosecco. Yeah. Anyway, what time are you off? No, yeah, nearly home time for you. Yeah. All right, then Monday you go. No, I'm all right. Got a bag. All right, love, see you.
But I love the fact that to fit in, you had to turn into a white man rather than just a woman. You could have just put on the voice. I've got to go geezer. I've got to go geezer with it. It's the only way.
Also, I look like this.
So you're like, what's she doing? But as you walk out, they're like, look, it's that girl again. It's that girl again. The one who does that, who does a white man's voice. Well, why does she do that? We all know it. It's brilliant. Look, see, this is what I mean.
Anyway.
So you want to be back in Gravesend is what we were saying.
No, not back in Gravesend. Sorry, no offense to Gravesendians, but somewhere like a kind of middle ground. I can still get into London. I still want to be kind of near the sea. I do realise I've moved into possibly one of the most landlocked places in the country as well.
Yeah.
After being a minute away from the beach for 6 months. So I miss the sea, man. I want to see the sea.
I look forward.
I ain't doing it. Sorry, Birmingham.
No, exactly. It's not the same. You can't get your dolly out and lie by the canal. You know what I mean? You look a bit silly here on your beach.
Yeah.
You know, I look forward to the Sukh Ojla story. I look forward to all of this, living by the beach. I think this is the story. Not yet. I know. I'll be pictured Baki here and all that. You know, you got a lot more pages and chapters to write, but it's you. It's you. That's the story. So you keep writing it, and I'll keep watching it and being your friend throughout it.
Thanks, Tom. You're like the brother I never wanted. Thank you.
Yeah. But you end up with anyway, who just keeps saying, "Hi, come to play." Bugger off. Thank you. You got to go. I love you, and I'll catch you soon. See you later.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
Care.
I heard, genuinely, this is just as a fact, I heard that if you hit subscribe to this podcast now, if you have subscribed on Apple or on Spotify or on JioSaavn or wherever you are listening right now, if you are subscribing and getting that on a regular, which means you get the little notification when the new episode comes out. Fact. This is a fact. Don't tell no one else's. If you hit subscribe, you can eat as many jalebis as you want and you will never put on weight. I know. I don't understand the logic. It makes no sense to me. I mean, how's a podcast relate to the DNA way in which your body breaks down jalebi sugar stuff running through your cell? I don't understand, but what I do know, it's a little cheat to life. So if you like jalebis, then you should hit subscribe to this podcast. Oh, and follow us on social media too. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow us, eat jalebis, be happy.